Hi guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to use the Corrective and Preventive Action Tracker to log all your non-conformance and do effective follow-up on your corrective and preventive actions to ensure that they are effectively closed out as part of your efforts in ensuring continual improvement. Now, this template has been designed in a manner that makes it very user-friendly, such that as you build your database, you're able to generate reports that you can utilize for your internal reporting. All right, so let's get straight into the features. We have all the sheets within the workbook hyperlinked in here in the form of a table of content. All right, so you can simply click on any of the link in here and then you'll be directed straight to the various worksheets. Now the next sheet is the approved list, and this is where you provide your list of safety assurance activities or safety monitoring activities, whatever monitoring system that you're using to identify deviations or to ensure that safety standards are maintained. You provide all of them here, so we can have a whole list: workplace inspections, environmental inspections, housekeeping, equipment, health and hygiene. Provide all of them here. And most importantly, you need to set 100% as your corrective action rate. That is basically the fact that you want to make sure all actions that are identified have been closed. All right, so corrective action rate is the percentage of actions that have been closed from your total corrective actions. And over here we have the action status, whether open or closed. So this is the approved list that gets populated in the corrective action tracker or the main source data in the form of a drop-down list. So to use this template, you simply provide a date, you click on the cell and you go to the drop-down list, and then you can now select the assurance activity that you've carried out. You provide the details of the activity, the location or the equipment involved, and if any non-conformance was identified. So this is actually used only when you detect a non-conformance. If you don't detect a non-conformance, there's no point using this. So whenever, as you all know, whenever as part of ensuring continual improvement, you'll be detecting deviations in your management systems or in your safety procedures and all of that. Once those deviations have been identified in the form of non-conformance, you simply log them onto a tracker or onto a log. So this template actually helps you to build a database of all those non-conformance. All right, so having identified a non-conformance, you provide a root cause of the non-conformance, you provide a corrective action or preventive action, and then you provide who is responsible for closing the action. You set a deadline, all right, and then as time goes on, based on your progress meetings, you can provide some progress updates or whatever you want to provide in there. And once the action has been closed, all right, so currently it's gonna be like this, where you have the due days being tracked for you every single day. So it's gonna continue counting. For instance, if I provided a deadline of 2022 to close the action, you realize it's gonna indicate as not yet due in terms of the deadline, and we have 179 days more for the action to be due. All right, so let's bring it back to how it was. All right, so currently we have it overdue for 917 days. Now, assuming the action has been closed, all right, we're able to close the action, then it's going to tell us we used 123 days to close the action. That's right there. And this 123 days is based on the date that the action was registered on the system and the date that the action was closed. So from 1st of January 2019 to 4th of May 2019, we've used 123 days to close the action. All right, and then the deadline has been met. As we said, the deadline of 5th of May. So on this day, the deadline we're able to meet the deadline. So after you've built a database of your non-conformance, corrective and preventive actions, and done a bit of follow-up to ensure that actions have been closed, you simply go to the data tab on the menu and you click on refresh all. So refresh all would update. The refresh all will update the dashboard, including all other reports within the workbook. All right, so on the dashboard, as you can see, we have the non-conformance, the number of non-conformance that have been identified. So let's select everything. This is actually the slicer that you use to, filter the dashboard to whichever, day, month, or whichever assurance activity that you want to look at. Right, so currently we selected everything. We have 17 non-conformance that have been identified. We've also been able to provide 17 corrective and preventive actions. And we have, out of these actions, we have 8 actions that are still opened and 9 have been closed. All right, so 9 actions have been closed and we have 17 actions, and that helps us to estimate the corrective action rate, which is 53%. So over here we have the various non-conformance that have been identified over the time frame. We have the actions deadline status, how many actions are overdue, and how many have been closed and deadline have been met. And over here we have the actions that are open and closed, over in a bar chart, and we also have the total action that are open and closed, and we have days that are actually due or overdue. So over here we can see that all the actions are overdue. We have quite a number of them. That's 8, so we should expect to have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 actions are overdue. So that's quite interesting. All right, so over here we have the various reports, non-conformance over the time frame, actions status, whether open or closed, and all of that. These are what we use to actually design the dashboard, and you can utilize this, all right, to actually report internally via email to all your stakeholders, those who are interested in knowing the status of corrective actions. All right, so this is a very interesting template, very, very user friendly, and it's simply plug and play. Now, to test how it is, how plug and play it is, you simply clear the data from the workbook. As you clear the data, just take note of columns that have functions in there or formulas. Like over here, if you want to know that Excel has a formula, click on it and look at the formula bar. All right, if it's blank, there's nothing in the formula bar, means you can go ahead and delete. Over here, you can see that we have some functions in the formula bar, and that clearly tells us this cell cannot be deleted. So you try to delete, you're gonna get a feedback. All right, now just make sure you get rid of all the areas that you can delete, and once you're done, just go to the data tab on the menu and click on refresh all. All right, so there you have it. We've been able to clear the dashboard of all data. So just to make sure that we are getting the template ready for our own data. All right, so to start using the template, provide the date, select the assurance activity or the monitoring activity, provide the details, provide the location or the equipment, the non-conformance that was identified, the root cause, the corrective action, person responsible, any progress update, you set the deadline, and if the action is open, you indicate as such. If it's closed, you provide a closing date and everything. All right, so let's bring back our data. All right, so as I did mention, every time we make changes to our workbook or the worksheet, go to the data tab and click on refresh all, and that's going to help us to ensure that the dashboard continuously updates and everything is comprehensive as per whatever is in your source data. So thanks guys for your attention. This is the best template you find on the internet. If you're interested in a template like this, don't hesitate to visit www.SHEQXEL.com, and you can always book a meeting on the support page, or you can always chat using the live chat, and we are more than glad to provide you the support that you need. So thank you all for your attention and have a great day. Bye.